Hi all, now you will hear a brief retelling the film Northern Bastion. Pleasant viewing. Police are trying to catch up with the criminal who just stole a scooter. The hijacker drove between containers, because of which cops I had to leave the car. A little further, he was awaited by the accomplice on the motorcycle. The criminal threw a scooter and fled. Trinity. I really did not want to mess with the documents. Because of this, the channel, we decided to use transport for the case. Antoine and Yas arrived at him in the ghetto to buy grass, so they are not aroused suspicions of the gangster checkpoint. When the huckster reached for goods, the cops were immediately tied. CO fighters began to run up to all sides. Greg just drove up the car, and the huckster packed quickly. Now you need dump. Behind the police began a pursuit. To break through, I had to demolish barricade from a pile of garbage. These information 3 get from a girl named Amel. I have to pay with her grass. Only 5. As agreed. I expected a good tip on the huckster. I want more grandmas. Have you touched? Paper for jam has risen in price. Oh well. In the police station, the head of the fat Greg reads because of a broken car, and generally do not meddle in this shit district. Without that work enough, Yas will soon become happy father. We were a dexterity on an ultrasound. It was in 3D. Terrible. The child looks scary like an alien. How is it in 3D? Well, in 3D type 3, dimensional image of the child. Horror. They gave you glasses. What were the glasses? Are you a fool? There were no points? There was no. You see, the policemen came to the market. They are there received free illegal cigarettes and the same free shawarma. Between they look out for criminals to fulfill the plan. For example, Greg, he pressed the Arabs who traded Red Book turtles. Pockets? And what? Pockets? Turn off. What pockets? Turn your pockets. I have nothing. Why are you spreading your hands? And what are you? Did you want problems? They really lay in pockets small turtles, but merchants lucky today. In the north of the city, only that Audi was stolen. Greg chased after car. However, he was ordered to stop chase. The hijackers entered the territory, social housing, local authority. He said that he did not see any car. Those time dispatcher requires the patrol immediately left the ghetto. Criminals laugh and mock pharaohs. Greg already shakes with anger and helplessness. That you are staring at me, Dower, shut up and get out of here. The police crap from head to toe remembered their mothers and others' relatives, but they were forced to obey and leave. Greg has no longer tolerate the strength. It seems to him that his work, it is useless. Families living in the ghetto, bastardly in front of gangs. We cannot get there so that they did not attack and did not spit. Every day I was insulted. Enough. Explain why we are needed at all? Yasa's wife works as a dispatcher. She informed her husband about the chip. Together with colleagues, he managed to tie the thief. Antoine now regrets that they did not take stolen money. Nora ridiculed young Neto gangster. The rest too. Got it. You can plan a robbery and forks take? No. Well, I would rather give birth. Neighbor still gets. No, it seems to have calmed down. And he cut him. Are you joking? He is 60. Enough to beat people. You are a problem decided. Suddenly, Nora moved the waters. It's good that at Yasa is a flashing light, and he can very much quickly bring his wife to the hospital. In Marseille, as always, is restless. Bandits removed the video in which they punished a dishonest huckster. He threw them customers. The video became viral and caused hype in society. Even the governor excited. Finally, Greg received permission to break into the ghetto and cover a large drug nurse. He can personally get people and organize an operation. Antoine met Amel and asked her to pass the main ones, but it is too dangerous. Bosses all day under high. They are fighting with each other beyond the territory and easy. They are dealing with objectionable people. Antoine promised the girl 2 kilos of grass after operations. Here are just at the local grass, a special smell, and all outlined at once. They will understand that a meal is a snack. For 5K from another place, I will get the info. The cops came with a kind of request to boss, but he refused to give out Traba from the storage. She is already described, so they have to get it ourselves, marijuana on the street. The cops began to tape ordinary drug addicts, take away from them, bought grass, and immediately let go home. Hello, police. Give what they bought it there. That's all. No more. No. This continued until a serious bandit did not run in a Trinity. This, its area. And some types rob him customers. He even began to wave a gun. I have not yet understood that they were facing him police, and only then he calmed down. Work for pennies, goat slaves, sit down your Porsche. Day. Soon the whole district found out that they create these dirty cops. And Mel now. It's scary to meet with Antoine. Less smoke, you have paranoia. I invented about yourself. Oh really? Somehow the dispatcher requested help on Olivier Square. It is there at night, Trinity hunted. To leave too much dangerous, so Greg simply turned off radio. Where were you? Busy. What are you, police officer? He threw his comrades in trouble. Jacques were almost killed during a mess. Greg had to tell about everything a colleague to understand him and stop run into. In addition, Jacques promised to help to get the remaining 3 kilos. All the grass is stored at home by Antoine. It went much faster. True, it's a shame when the arrested huckster became pour them right in the car. Emile informed Antoine that after 3 days, everything bosses will gather in one apartment, and I suggested how to find a warehouse with grass. The day of the largest operations in the career of our heroes. Police monitors problematic quarter. I drove into the ghetto yellow car with goods. The seller was given plastic bag. During anxiety, all hucksters related the goods to the warehouse. So the police, it will be able to track the preservation of drugs. Antoine is the most nimble cop. It is he who pucking behind the huckster. Greg ordered, to begin to act your people. Antoine. He headed towards the cellar, but at some point his Invason was recognized and he raised the alarm. The huckster immediately rushed at Duck. We drove into the territory of several detachments of police officers. Barriga, I handed over the goods to the accomplice, Antoine. The angry crowd surrounded. I had to get out a gun. Fortunately, it arrived reinforcement. Yas received signs of a runner and he chased after him. The criminal ran into building. The police headed there. I found refuge. 5th floor. A crowd gathered near the house. Entrance to the building was barricaded. Yas turned out to be cut off the rest of the cops. He hopes hide from the thugs in one of apartments. The investigator accidentally succeeded penetrate into housing, clearly put on the family. The gun and ordered them to shut up. Greg, I found out that 2 houses have adjacent roofs, so they will go inside the building through neighboring house. I told my friends what he is hiding the apartment. Suddenly the kid took it a kitchen knife and dusted them a policeman, for that was sent to the knockout. His mother. She screamed. Fortunately, the first came here. Friends of cops, not bandits. On the street the situation is heating up. Healthy type C. The bandana openly provokes police officers. The comrades penetrated an apartment that may be a warehouse. In the bedroom was made a hole in the neighboring room. There, the Type C attacked the Antoine pipe. The guy easily dealt with him. Greg beat another one. He asked Jacques, hurry up. The barricade was finally carried and the detachment was able to get into the entrance. Trinity through holes it moves from one apartment to another. In a large room, a greenhouse was arranged. Soon they found shelter. Bandits hastily stuffed the goods and money in a bag. All the good is thrown in the next hole in the wall. Greg. He used the gas grenade. Crowd below is fierce. From windows to the police flies garbage and furniture. Finally arrived reinforcement. The detentions began. The most daring are trying to shoot back and sent to the other world goodses. They took out the money into the street. There are almost them managed to take away. However, the bandits on time tied. All evidence was seized, the main ones arrested. However, the crowd does not let out ghetto police. Aggressors had to tie your feet and plant a couple in them rubber bullets. The lawmakers attacked the car and broke the glass in it. Get out, hence the alive, that is the task. One of Frorazov even gave the cue from Kailash. Fortunately, no one was a wound. This operation real victory for Marseille police. Today, everyone was a hero, every in its own way. Eat, drink only on, do not lean drugs. Greg even cried. Finally, I figured out these bastards. In the evening, Antoine, as promised, handed over informant 5 kg of grass. On this, the cooperation is over. Well, after 2 months, our Trinity was arrested. In Antoine's apartment was searched and found. There are traces of marijuana. Detective Yvonne, because of friends' internal investigations, accused of extortion and organized drug trafficking. We did not trade in drugs, never sold. So I have other data that you steal drugs to sell them. Greg convinces them they are marijuana only exchanged for information. Name only. Antoine knows the informant, and he is not. He is going to reveal his personality. How conveniently, Yvonne laughs. Or maybe it's about the fact that cops pay only 1,800 euros, and did they want more? Greg freaked out on this office rat because it is not even he knows what it feels like to work on the street. 2. Unfortunately, the boss betrayed Greg. He denies his involvement. Supposedly, everything Greg personally planned this. Man, I asked for confrontation with Jerome, but the ghoul is even lying under the oath and claims that he knew nothing about bribery informant marijuana. All 3 they threw in single cameras. No contacts with others concluded. They can kill. Zeke yells "Yas" from cameras and threaten get to him. Now cops, you have to get used to life for Lattice. From the news, friends learned that their cars were listened to several months. Minister of Justice intends to provide them in all severity law. Greg is heavier than others tolerates conclusion. And the shame that is on him fell. The man literally leaves with mind. Constantly yells and beats with fists in camera walls. If the facts are confirmed, these police are waiting for up to 20 years in prison. The lawyer warned Antoine that the defense they have very weak. Against the cops, the governor, mayors, and journalists' acts. The only chance to get out is name the name of the informant. One day, Greg cracked and pounced on the guard. The man was twisted and thrown into a punishment cell. A month later, Yas could finally call wife. Unfortunately, he only heard auto-neuter. The police dropped with Nora money. She asked Karpov confirm the words of the husband. They didn't give you back even. Greg. No, Nora. So only 3 more will be in prison. The boss allegedly saved the entire department, and these 3 pawns who were allowed into expenses. Nora was able to visit her husband. How are you here? The hydromassage bath has broken, so nothing. It was clear that his colleagues would support him, but unfortunately I was mistaken. But the wife promises to wait for him as much as it will be required. Greg gradually fades away. He was pumped up by Transformers. Man, I did not even recognize my friend. Once Yas, I asked for a haircut, but the convicts can cut only other convicts, and Yasu for them it is forbidden. It turns out the only one who I could cut him was Antoine. I immediately attacked the guy. He must to give out an informant, otherwise their friend will die. Antoine gave up and named the name Amel. Soon, the girl was arrested. This is her. This is her. I had no choice. Since the informant turned out to be real, the prosecutor removed the charges from the cops in organized drug trafficking. They are allowed to freedom. Yas now consists in the police union and protects its colleagues from leadership actions. Antoine Wars handed over the icon and got a job a nurse in prison. Greg was fired from operational department. Now he works police in a small town.